Select the correct answer. What is 12% of 50? When you convert, if you have a percent, you convert that percent to a decimal. You move the decimal place over 2 places to the left. So if we have 12%, that becomes 0.12 in decimal form. So now the word of, when you see the word of, that means to multiply. So what is 12%? Here to convert a percent to decimal, simply move the decimal two places to the left. So it's 12% or 0.12 of is times 50, and when you multiply that out, you just get 6. If 32% of a number is 64, again, we're going to convert the 32% to decimal. That's 0.32. The word of means to multiply times 64. So on your calculator, excuse me, I'm so sorry. If I could read, oh, I would be famous. If 32% of a number, that's 32% times some number, let n represent the number. Okay. The word is translated equal. And we talked about of, it means to multiply. So we have 0.32, I'm going to read this sentence, 32%, 0.32 of, that's times a number, that's n, is, that's equal 64. All right. So to get the n, we're going to divide both sides by the 0.32. So that simply means that n is equal to 64 divided by 0.32. Now on your calculator you do that and you get 200. So now Tom gets $12 off a box of chocolates that had an original price of $48. What percent is the discount? So basically what they're saying is that $12 is what percent of 48? If we read that using our math, Tom gets $12 off a box of chocolates that had an original price of $48. What percent is the $12? So $12 is what percent of $48? Okay, so let's say let n represent the percent. So we have 12, that's is equal. What percent? N of is times 48. So get n by itself, divide both sides by 48. So we have 1 over 4 is equal to n. Now 1 over 4, if you just get the decimal of that, or you can just take the 1 over 4 and multiply it times 100%. So let's say this implies 1/4 times 100%, because they did ask for percent. So this is 100% divided by 4. That's just 25%. So to convert any number or fraction to percent, you just multiply by 100%. Another way of doing that is you could take the 1/4 and you just divide that or simplify it. That's 0.25, and then you can convert this decimal to percent by moving your decimal 2 places over to the right, and that yields 25%. So to go from decimal to percent, you move the decimal place 2 places to the right. To go from percent to decimal, you move the decimal 2 places over to the left. At any rate, all you need there is 25%. What is 22% of 50? So 22% is 0.22 of means times 50. And when you multiply that out on your calculator, you get 11. Okay, so Sammy pays $30 for a bag that she buys at a discount of 50%. What is the price of the bag without the discount? Well, if $30 is half, then the price of the bag is $60. Now, if you understand that, then you're fine. Go on to the next problem. If you want to see the math as it works out, then I don't mind showing you. But here, $30 is 50% of what number? So that becomes 30 here is equal to 50% or 0.5 of what number? Let's say that's going to be times some number n. And then all you're doing is dividing both sides by the 0.5. 0.5 is the same thing as 1/2, if you will. So 30 divided by 0.5 is 60 is equal to n. Now you don't have to do all that. If you look at the problem, if you understand it, you can just answer it like I did and be done with it without even showing your work, and I'm fine with that. What percentage is the fraction 2 over 10 equal to? I'm going to take 2 over 10. To get its percent form, we're just going to multiply by 100%. That's the same thing as saying 100% all over 1, if you will. So that's 200 divided by 10, you just get 20. Now, I don't like to go up with numbers. I like to go down. So 10 divided by 10 is 1. 100 divided by 10 is 10. And so I have left 2 times 10%. You get 20%. Either way, you still get 20%, right? If 20% of a number is 35, then what is 50% of that number? Now, there's a couple of ways you could do this. Now, I don't know which way is easy. I'll show both ways. Whichever one you like is fine with me. So 20% of what number? That's times. So here of a number is 35. So let n equal to the number. So we have 20% or 0.2, convert that to a decimal, of, the of is multiply times what number? That's n. That's equal to 35. So n becomes 35 divided by 0.2. So n is 35 divided by 0.2. And when you do that, that gives you 175 on your calculator. So now, what is 50% of 175? 50% is just half. So what's half of 175? So it's 175 just divided by 2. You get 87.5. Now, another way you could have done that was to compare these terms. 20% of a number is 35. So what is 50% of some number? Again, let's keep n to be that number. So here 20% divided by something is compared to 50% divided by something. 20% is compared to 35. 50% is compared to some number. Just the ratio here to get the equivalence. We're going to cross multiply. So that's going to give me 20% times n is equal to 50% times 35. Now the 20% is 0.2 times n, and that's equal to 50% or 0.5 times 35. Okay, so let's see. So on your calculator, 35 times 0.5 is 17.5. So 0.2 n is equal to 17.5. Divide both sides by this 0.2. To get n by itself, because we're solving for it. So n is equal to, in our calculator, 17.5 divided by 0.2, and that gives you directly 87.5. Again, whichever one you like is fine with that. You may even have another way. If it's easier, if you understand it, fine. I think maybe the first way is probably good, but some people like doing the ratio. We are talking about ratios in this section, and so you can set the proportion for the ratios, and then you can solve by cross multiplying. Either way is good. What is the decimal form of 17%? When you have a percent, you can convert that to a decimal by moving the decimal place 2 places over to the left, and that gives you 0.17. What percentage is the fraction 2 over 4 equal to? So 2 over 4 represents what percent? Now 2 over 4 is the same thing as just 1/2. To convert if it's a fraction, you want to convert that to a percent. Again, just multiply by 100% all over 1. So this is 100 divided by 2. That's 50%. What is the decimal form of 12%? Again, we move the decimal place 2 places over to the left, and that gives us 0.12. You got it? Okay, good. Thank you.